Welcome, 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 trivalent beings of spirit, mind, and body. Time for the Ask Doc Alkebulanese Solutions show, sponsored by Prometheus Reborn Universal Foundation, also known as Proof. Its mission is to spread the trivalent understanding noetics, featuring stand-up philosophy that includes anthropology, psychology, biology, metaphysics, medicine, psychodrama, comedy, and music through a genre called edutainment, educating while entertaining, coined by KRS-One. The host of this wonderful show is Dr. Kwaku L. Carlisle Woods, RN, MD, MED-D1, and myself, co-host, Dr. Hamida Rockman Woods, MED, PhD, MED-D2.
And I have the PH.
And I have the M.
We both have D's.
That makes us
Doc². The title of the day's show, A New Image for a New Health.
Woo! Y'all just don't understand. We have had to go through a lot of challenges today. Personally, emotionally, technically, you name it. Yeah, we've been doing that. Now, today's show is actually a blast from the past because I wrote an article for African American Lifestyle magazine almost 20 years ago that talked about a definition for health. We have health systems, we have health drinks, we have health tonics, we have health. What exactly is health? That's what today's show is going to be about. But before we do that, Hip Hop Trio Plus, yeah! We got new equipment, new mics. Oh, and we are sounding so much more professional, so much more like us. And we got several different things upcoming. We're going to be at Case Western Reserve. If the Lord says the same and the ancestors agree, we'll be edutaining them in another month or so.
Yes, we're riding on excellence.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Now, let us move from there, not quite into today's show, because I got to say something about line 44.5. As usually, he was lying. As usual, he said he was going to be arrested yesterday. Didn't happen. But what else is old about line 44.5? If the Lord says the same, he will be indicted within the next 24 to 36 hours. I think it's going to happen tomorrow, Wednesday.
Oh, wonderful.
But yeah, that's one indictment. He has about 3 more coming up. So that's where we are, holding base, and now we slide into new image for a new health. Okay, I'm going to be reading this article, which was published again in the African American Lifestyle magazine. Do we got a picture of African American Lifestyle magazine that people can see where this came from? Okay, that's it. This is the article, A New Image for a New Health, by me. This is from African American Lifestyle magazine, and it states, in the January 2006 edition of the American Journal of Public Health, there is an article published as a commentary by Dr. Lester Breeslau, MD, MPH of the UCLA School of Medicine, on the definition and measurement of health in our society. Dr. Breeslau states that our culture has many ways to measure disease, but has no way to objectively measure or even define what health is. His article goes on to describe the changes in the definition of what health should be, from 1948's positive notion of physical, mental, and social well-being to 1986 World Health Organization's Ottawa Charter description of health as a resource for everyday life. Now, in the article, the physical and laboratory measurements that have been used to document disease and illness were reviewed. Then the author makes a request for greater understanding and a fine-tuning of these parameters to develop and investigate those measurements that can be used to set health standards. Now, we do not have a health system. We don't have a system of health. Again, the definition of what health is currently under review. A resource for everyday life. My drawers are a resource for everyday life. My hat is a resource for everyday life. My shoes, everything I use is a resource for everyday life.
Not your drawers, Doc.
Yeah, my drawers. Without my drawers, I would not have the normal life that I have every day. But more than that, this definition gives you no direction. It gives you no goal. It gives you no ways to measure how healthy you are. And that goes on because most of our health experts have no understanding of what the hell health actually is. We don't have health systems. We have disease systems. Our health systems are divided according to what disease you have, or what organ or what symptoms you're talking about. Health, what is it? That's what this is about. The article makes a brief admission that there are spiritual parameters of mankind, but declines to involve any time or effort in its analysis. The commentary ends by asking for a comprehensive assembly of the items necessary to provide a view of health as a whole resource for living. Now, I wrote a response to Dr. Breeslaw's article that addressed the concept that he presented. I believe that all definitions of health should start from the recognition that we are basically spiritual beings of physical and mental manifestations. I have debated with others who say we are physical beings with spiritual and mental manifestations. Whatever the consideration, it is more than abundantly clear that people are composed of three parts, and the literature expounding each part as an essential portion of every healthy human would stretch into eternity. Let us not waste any time in wondering why this essential third of our humanity, our spiritual self, is seldom even mentioned by the people running our, quote, health care, unquote, system. This real triple play, when you are not sure of your own spirituality, leads to religious people getting confused and offended. And you're taught in medical school and residency to treat disease and illness, not worry about people's, quote, health or their spiritual or religious convictions. That's supposed to be left to others. Doctors, nurses, pharmacists, all the technicians in your hospital are not supposed to give one iota of thought to any patient's spiritual status. Okay, so 1/3 of their being is totally and completely ignored, even though that is the third of your being that controls your mind and your body. Now, that's ignorance flashing into stupidity. Ignorance is not understanding. A lot of people, especially Europeans, have a huge amount of lack of understanding because, here we go again, the Roman Catholic Church told them not to use reason. but to instead use revelation. Yeah. And their revelation had absolutely nothing to do with how your spirit functions or how that portion of your being operates. Okay. Let us not waste any. Okay. A real triple play when you're not sure of your own spirituality. Personally, I became somewhat discouraged after testifying before the Meese Commission as vice president of the physicians branch for the state of Louisiana's Primary Care Association. That cold morning in Chicago, when the governor of Illinois and other dignitaries were asked to let the rural doctor from Louisiana go first, that was unusual, but I won't enthrall you with my witty, cogent speech that centered on putting more money, prestige, and money, not a typo, in different types of health education. I will cut to the chase and say that after the commission hearings were done, our government set up the managed care/health as a business system that we now have. I was told at National Institutes of Health in Bethesda, Maryland, that thank you very much, Dr. Woods, for your assistance, but we have decided to change the art and science of medicine to the business of healthcare. And if we health educate these people and disease prevent, we won't be getting very much money in treating these diseases. Notice I did not say curing those diseases. That's not the view. They want to treat these diseases because that keeps you coming back, and that keeps us coming back. So, yeah. That was when I had to make a decision. Do I stay in this business that's made me $1.3 million this year? Or do I get out and save my soul? I decided to start a health education company. Now, if you can afford the premiums, your job includes health benefits. You can get both an appointment and time off to keep it. If the physician doesn't have an emergency or get backed up, you are allowed 2 minutes with the nurse, 6 with the physician, and 12 minutes either waiting or dealing with the front desk. You are considered by your name and your policy number, but you are treated as a disease or illness. This is not just a problem with how nursing, medicine, and allied health teach healing modalities, though each student is taught to define interactions between health seekers by a diagnosis. No, it is much more pervasive. Medicine itself is fragmented into enclaves of tighter and tighter specialization. We separate space in our facilities by diagnosis. We bill for charges according to diagnostically related groups. These are called DRGs. And this is how your healthcare personnel are paid. We got a diagnostically related group slide that we can show to the people. Diagnostically related groups are the groups that you are put into that decide whether you are urological, orthopedic, ophthalmic, ENT, OBGYN, and specifically, why were you seen? What aspect of that disease were you treated for? And the government or your insurance carrier needs to pay these people for the disease you were treated for. Nowhere in this statement is anything regarding health addressed. Almost all of the focus of our present system is on disease, not health. As already admitted, we don't even know what it is, let alone how to measure it, teach it, or promote it. And that's a big thing here. One of the most telling statistics that represent the present peril to our health is the percentage of medical school students who plan to go into primary care medicine. Primary care refers to the specialties that focus any real time and effort on education or prevention of disease and include family practice, general practice, and internal medicine. According to CNN reports, the percentage of medical school students planning to specialize in primary care is 2%. Not a typo, and I don't mean to say 20. 2%. 98% of all of your physicians don't give a rat's ass about teaching you how not to catch disease. They don't care about educating you about disease prevention or educating you at all about your health.
Please repeat primary care, the 3 groups you mentioned.
3 groups in primary care: family practice, general practice, and internal medicine. Those are the only 3 specialties that spend any significant amount of time in health education and disease prevention. And according to CNN reports, 2. Not 1.
When did you get that report, Doc?
2. This was when this was published in 2006. So it might have changed in the last 20 years. I don't think so, because primary care is the specialty that gets paid the least amount of monies.
I'll give him 4.
Family practice, general practice, and internal medicine get paid the least. And unfortunately, especially in the last 20 years, people who come out of medical school have huge debts for their education. They do not want to get paid the least amount of money. They want to get paid the most. That's why everybody specializes in a medical specialty so they can get paid the most.
Yeah, paying
least.
for those school bills.
Yes, ma'am.
Tuition,
Again.
I should say.
Hey, Doc, I'll give him 4% now since 2006.
Okay, you are very, very generous, my brother, because nobody else gives them that. Unfortunately, most medical school students don't want to be any of those. They want to be surgeons. They want to be orthopedists. They want to be eye specialists. They want to be cardiologists. They want to be something special. OB/GYN, pediatrics, whatever. Okay. Why? Why is that the case? Why is only 2% at that point interested in this specialty? Again, it is a strictly financial / economic decision, as most of these physicians will graduate with educational debts that have climbed to record heights. If you want to pay off these debts and not live in poorer condition than your fellow docs, you will not choose to do what pays you the least. You will instead choose to go to high-cost, high-specialization care that pays the big bucks. You don't lack intelligence or skill. Why should you get paid less money because third-party and other payers place less importance on prevention and education? Most will choose to go where the money is. I would like to propose, instead of our present system that ignores a third of your existence and pays more for treatment of disease than prevention of illness, a system that recognizes the totality of humanity and puts its money/prestige/money in prevention and education. Each person as to who, what, and when they are. Now, a word to those who would attempt to bring religion into this discussion. I am a scientist. I'm not a preacher. I'm not a bishop. I'm not an imam. I'm not a reverend. I hold no view or preference on the organized worship of spirituality. That is the realm of theologist and priest. What I suggest is a discussion and realization that without some acknowledgement of the purpose and use of the spiritual nature of all humanity, our health will never be realized. Our health consists of the understanding and utilization of all three parts of our being. It is said that the body respires. That means breathe. The mind inquires. Ask a question. The spirit inspires. The spirit inspires your mind to action. The spirit inspires your body to action. The spirit is the most important part of your three parts. Participles are functional attributes of humanity. Your spirit produces the images on which your mind thinks, contemplates, imagines, visualizes. And through the understanding of the meanings of those visualizations, they make your body function. Health, then, could be considered to be an optional functioning of all three components of humanity, working in harmony to provide the resources for everyday life. This is what the World Health Organization stated were a component of the definition of health in its 1986 declaration, and then went absolutely no further. I would like to insert a new definition and a new basis for the establishment of the concept of health. This basis for establishment is rooted in the concept of the trivalent understanding. Trivalent means three-powered, which I've explained consistently on this program. I will explain them again as soon as we establish some common definition of terms to be used throughout the article. We must first differentiate between knowing and understanding, two terms often confused with each other and used interchangeably. Understanding is an intellectual process involving the cerebral hemispheres. That's those two wrinkled walnut-shaped structures that are right inside your skull and make up the majority of the visible brain. You can think about your understanding and put it under voluntary manipulation. Knowing, however, is an emotional, spiritual function, not intellectual, that primarily occurs in your limbic system, that part of your brain buried near the middle of your head and primarily concerned with emotions. It may include the thalamus, hypothalamus, pineal, and pituitary glands. You can go back to Y.O.U, our previous show, 2 shows ago, where we go through your emotions and we break down the limbic system and show you not only diagrams, but functional schema of how your emotions work. Now, knowing is emotional, spiritual functioning that primarily occurs in your limbic system. It may include your thalamus, hypothalamus, pineal, and pituitary glands. You feel what you know, just as you think about what you understand. The functional difference between understanding and knowing is that you do what you know. In almost every case, you ask somebody why they did anything, they will explain to you, well, I felt so forth and so on, or I had a feeling about it. Yeah, that's what they knew. You feel what you know. You think about what you understand. Most human beings do not do what they understand. They do what they know. Okay. You may have heard people ask, why did I do such and such? I knew better than that. No, they didn't. They understood better, but they did what they knew. Another way of conceptualizing the difference is your sexual identity. Most people know they are a man or a woman, except for 8 to 12% of humanity. I don't think I'm a man. I know I'm a man. I don't have to stop in the middle of an action and ask myself, now, what would a man do in this situation? I act out of that maleness because it is part of my knowing, my emotional, spiritual matrix. Last but not least is the concept of learning. Learning is understanding in action. You first must understand a concept, then put it into action over a period of time in order to learn it. It's how you learned your ABCs, your times tables, and any other concept you now employ. First you understand it, then you practice that understanding, and it is primarily this practice that provides the basis for incorporation of any understood concept into daily life. Now that we have these definitions, we can discuss the trivalent understanding. It's composed of three basic parts.
Noetics.
Thank you so very much, my brother. The trivalent understanding noetics. Noetic science, the newest science known to man. The science of faith, belief, and intention. Again, it is not religious. It is scientifically based on how your spirit functions, and we're going to get to that in a moment. But it's basically, how does your will work? How does your faith function? How do you take what you intend to be and turn it into your reality? I didn't mean to rhyme that time, but I did it just because it's mine.
All right now.
Okay. Almost none of human beings understand what these three parts are because they're not taught that. They're not taught how they function, what are their properties, and most importantly, how they coordinate the functioning of their lives. Let me add at this point that when I say spirit, I'm not talking about religion, but rather the part of all human beings from which they derive the bulk of their ability to transcend their environment, which I pose as the ultimate marker of humanity, our spirits.
We're just going to give a shout out to Carla, who's dedicated.
Carla!
Everything goes.
Yes,
Yeah.
everything.
All right. Peace.
That's the Kendos.
Yes.
Peace and love. Because straight at you. Hot dog.
Hey.
The trivalent understanding, noetics, seeks to inform and teach individuals about the operation of themselves that they knew but did not understand. An example, we will now discuss the operations of your trivalency. Your body is consciousness manifested as material. Again, your physical being is consciousness manifested as material reality. Consciousness manifested as material. It has two different connections. It has connections outward with the environment. This allows you to interact with the world. And it has connections inward with the mind. This informs your mind what the world outside your body is like. That's basically your body. Your mind. Your mind is a vehicle that allows your spirit to experience this reality. That's all your mind is. This vehicle allows your spirits to experience the reality that we call Earth. And your mind has also two connections. Connections outward to the body. And it communicates with the body about what it feels, believes, has thought, and has experienced. It has an inward connection to your spirit. And it communicates with the spirit specifically as the spirit directs your mind on which images to focus on, which images to think about, which images to consider, which images to compare, which images your mind has responsibility for. Now, specific functions of the mind, and this is a partial listing. Your mind understands, it ranks, it protects, it interprets, it compares, it considers, it associates, it evaluates, it judges, and it coordinates. Now let's move on to the real deal, Neil. Your spirit. This is the portion of your humanity that allows you to transcend your environment. Now, transcending your environment means that you can leave the reality that your body inhabits. You can leave the reality that your mind inhabits, and you can go into realities where only spirit matters. Everything that mankind has created in this world comes from other realities. From the first stone axe to computers did not exist in this reality until somebody's spirit went to another reality and imagined those types of devices and techniques. And that imagination allowed them to tell their mind the picture so that their mind could now understand, rank, consider, associate, judge, and coordinate those images that were given to the mind from the spirit, so that the mind could give the body means to bring those imagined new realities into this reality. Now, your spirit has two different connections also. Its outward connection is to the mind, and it allows the mind to think about things that may or may not exist in this environment. It has an inward connection to your higher power and to the ancestors. This allows forces and principles of your higher power and ancestors to be manifested in this world. As part of the trivalent understanding noetics, hot dog. As part of the trivalent understanding noetics, you will be taken through something called ancestor regression. And during ancestor regression, an individual will be taken back into the realities of their ancestors. They will be taught how to communicate with their ancestors. And there has never been a trivalent understanding noetics class in which an individual was sent back through space and time to communicate with their ancestors that they did not communicate with their ancestors. All they had to be done was to be instructed in, you can do this, this is how. And everybody has these abilities. These resources are there for you to utilize.
And they had understanding of their imagination that was given to them before how to use their imagination.
Of course, this is not the first day of class. We do this generally in the second set of classes.
Yes.
When they are given these instructions, they are instructed to utilize the resources that the ancestors provide to accomplish their purpose for existence. Your ancestors want your purpose to be accomplished. They are a resource for you to utilize. You should use them. Ow, now I remember what was on my spirit. When I came to Cleveland, I had to go through some challenges, and one of the challenges was a form that I had to fill out at VA. And question 24 of that form said, How often do you contact your higher power before making decisions? I'm trying to be honest, so I had to think about that. How often do I contact my higher power before I make decisions? Never. And that occurred to me. Never? You never contact your higher power when making decisions? When your higher power has all the answers to every question? That's kind of stupid. Again, stupid is not understanding. That's ignorant. Not understanding is ignorance.
Wow.
Stupid is not wanting to understand.
Right.
And not asking your higher power is not wanting to understand. I said, wait a minute, hold on. I got to change this. I can't be doing that. That's stupid. I can be a lot of things. I'm never going to be voluntarily ignorant. So I'm stupid? No. Had to throw that out of my agenda. And from that moment on, I would like to say, not only do I ask my higher power before I make decisions, I ask my higher power and my ancestors about everyday ordinary stuff. Constantly, regularly. I guarantee today it's 8 something. I guarantee I've asked the ancestors and my higher power at least 15, 20 things today. And they have never been incorrect. They have never not been telling me to do something that was enabling.
Yes.
Okay, let's finish this up.
Hey, Doc,
Yes, sir.
question. Have you ever asked your higher power or your ancestors and you thought it was your higher power ancestors, but it was really just your ego, and then you find out you made a bad decision based off your ego?
Well, that's a very good question, my brother. Let me answer it in the best way that I can. To answer your question simply, no, I ain't never did that. Now let me explain why. Part of the procedure that we explain and demonstrate to all of our students about asking the ancestors of the Most High for anything is a procedure in which you focus on your third eye and you imagine it as a blackboard. You imagine a question, whatever question that you have. It should, especially for those who just start, be a question that can be answered yes or no. That's easiest answers to listen to. You visualize this question on the blackboard that's in your third eye. And then when you visualize a question, you imagine an eraser going over the blackboard and erasing your response. This is erasing the response of your ego. This is erasing your response from what people told you. This is erasing your response from you, from your mind. In that clear space that you just now created, because you have cleared that space of your mind and ego, the only ones who should be accessing that is your ancestors of the Most High. That's the technique I teach people to use. That's the technique I use. It is automatic to me now. I don't have to imagine it. I just go to God and ask.
And it's automatic because he's done the learning
I
that
was just
makes you
about to say
practice until it becomes a part of you.
Exactly.
That's one of
So the question is, to somebody like new taking the class, they would have to practice this in order to
Yes.
learn it.
Absolutely.
It won't. They might have that, I guess, ego interference because they haven't practiced that. But
No, my brother.
You do it.
They're going to have
what
ego
you gotta
interference.
get
Yeah.
It is not might. They're going to have ego interference unless they move their ego
So
out of the
right.
fucking way.
Because you do this every day, so it's automatic for you.
I do it every day,
second,
20,
every
30
minute
times
of the day.
a day.
Yeah.
Every day.
Multiple.
My life.
Yes, Mick, right.
Yes.
Multiple. That's
I
right.
do it, like I said, 15
Yeah.
to 20 times
Yeah.
every day.
And I'm
Not
just-
on weekends, not on weekdays.
That's right.
Every day.
Not when things get tough.
No.
All the time.
Every day.
Even for our meals, I'll ask the Most High, okay, I'll go in the kitchen And I'll say, first of all, I'll thank the Most High for what we have. And then I actually ask the ancestors to assist me. And when they do, I thank the Most High because that's what they're there for.
Wow. And we have had gourmet meals. Now, I
Oh.
am a fool in the kitchen. I am serious. I have been watching Graham Kerr and
It's on the tip of my spirit. I can't remember.
most male chefs.
Yeah.
I have been following since I was maybe 12 or 13 years old. We used to come home because we didn't have no food and watch them fix food on the television. And watch it, yeah. Graham Kerr, the Galloping Gourmet.
Imagining.
Or Claude Wilson, or who's the guy down in Louisiana?
I thought you said him.
Justin Wilson, that's it. Justin Wilson. Been following them all of my days. I'm telling you this because my wife cooks gourmet meals that you cannot find in the best gourmet restaurant on this planet. And I have eaten there. I have eaten at the best gourmet restaurants on this planet. And none of them beats my wife with the ancestors' help.
Hey, I'm not lying.
What did I say, my darling?
It's
It
the
is,
truth.
but it is. I'd rather eat my own food than go out and cook. Now, you know, I'm spoiled by my own food.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to say by the ancestors.
I'd rather eat my wife's or my daughter's food.
Yes.
Than cook.
Of course you would.
and occasionally my food too.
Well, on occasion. Every once in a while, you got to do you.
Oh, well, we can bear witness to your wife and your daughter's food.
Yes, indeed.
Out of sight.
We have eaten his food. We have eaten their food.
Yes.
And we ain't dead yet. So, hey. Again, let me finish this article. We got any telephone calls in the back?
Not yet. Not yet.
All right, then. Let me go ahead and finish this thing. Okay. Now we are talking about spirit, and I'm going to give you specific functions, and this is, again, only a partial listing. Now, check this out, y'all.
We do have a caller.
We got a caller? Let me run through this list, and then I'll get the caller.
Okay.
Your spirit functions. Your spirit directs. Your spirit innervates. Your spirit enlivens. Your spirit enables. Your spirit energizes. Your spirit inspires. Your spirit transforms. Your spirit protects. Your spirit heals. Your spirit strengthens. Your spirit sustains. Your spirit imagines. Your spirit enlightens. Your spirit pictures. Your spirit suggests. Your spirit recognizes. Your spirit convicts. Your spirit initiates. Your spirit awakens. Your spirit enthuses. Your spirit creates. Your spirit believes. Your spirit acts as a template for the will. Now, hold on 1 second. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, so 11. We got 23 different functions of the spirit. They fall into 3 categories. Your spirit enables, your spirit protects, your spirit visualizes or imagines. 23 different functions of the spirit. 1, 2, 3, 10 functions for the mind. 1 function for the body. Now, which of your 3 parts do you think you should have the most understanding of? The one that does 1 thing, the one that does 10 things, or the one that does 23 things? And controls the other 2 parts of your being. Okay. As a brief explanation of the above chart, note that the body has the most limited listing of functions. Though it does many things, its main purpose is to act as an interface for the mind and spirit with this world. The mind compares and computes as well as placing emotional values on the experiences of this world. The spirit provides psychic energy for the operation of the mind and body. It also does 2 things that mark individuals as members of the human race. It presents images to the mind for thought and acts as a template for the will. I want to go into detail in acting as a template for the will. But hold on 1 second. All of the things that humans now employ in life, from the first stone tool through bows and arrows to the internet, all started out as an idea. Another way to characterize an idea is as an image presented to the mind by the spirit. The mind then uses its powers of reasoning, comparing, or whatever faculty it needs to bring that idea into reality. None of the things we have created existed in this world before they were invented, so the mind could not use memory, duplication, or any of its other functions to create the idea it invents. Images and imaginings are the powers of the spirit. Okay. Acts as a template for the will. Everybody who's under 50 probably will not understand the operations of a movie projector. A movie projector was how we used to show movies. Before VCRs or compact disc or streaming services, we used a movie projector. A movie projector has basically 3 different parts: the film, the light, and the lens, a magnifying glass. The film provides the image for what's going to be shown. The light shines through the film and projects the image onto the lens. The lens magnifies, sharpens, and focuses the image and allows it to be projected on a screen which you watch. That's how human beings function. Your spirit is the film. It is sent through your mind, where your will is the light that shines through the image. Your faith is the lens that focuses the image that your will has not created, but emblazoned. And that lens focuses the image that your spirit has sent to your will and projects it into this reality. Okay, we got somebody who's called in to ask Doc a question.
And sweetheart, after that, we may want to do the song. It's 9:15.
Okay, we want to do the song right after that. Questioner. Person with question. Hello, questioner. Caller. Okay.
Okay. After the song.
2 different books.
Caller left now.
Okay. 2 different books you'll need to get.
Here, let me hold this one.
Okay, DNA USA, that's the one she got. And this one, The Africans Who Wrote the Bible.
Can we see both of them, Mick?
Okay, now to me. Now you gotta go this way. You gotta go this way. You gotta come this way because this camera's focused on me.
All righty. There.
There it is, DNA USA. This will give you the real picture of who Americans are. Again, it shows that 100% of all people who think they're pink are not, if they are from the South. If they're from what used to be called the Confederate States of America, every one of them have sub-Saharan Alkebulanese DNA. They all have what Europeans call African DNA. Every one of them, 100%. Africans Who Wrote the Bible tells you about Christianity in a different way, because Christianity is an Alkebulanese or African religion. Christianity was created by an Alkebulanese or an African. His name was Yeshua ben Yosef. They call him Jesus Christ. And they painted him as a European. He was not, nor will he ever be, a European. This is somebody who was raised for all except 3 years of their life and lived all except 3 years of their life in Alkebulan, Africa. That's where he lived. All of his life experiences are African. all of the thoughts and philosophies that he taught are African. But that's not to be surprised, since everybody in the Bible was Alkebulanese or African, except the Roman soldiers who killed him. They are the only Europeans in that book. Everybody else was Alkebulanese and looked sort of like me. So, what's up, y'all? We got no caller. We do, however, have a song. This song was done by Humble G and the Africans because Europeans were ignorant. They were kept that way by the Roman Catholic Church, who did not want any of the knowledge that was in Alkebulan or Asia to cause it to lose its grip on the fear that ignorance brings about in human beings. Ignorance brings out fear. You always fear what you don't understand.
Yes.
And the Roman Catholic Church was trying to make damn sure that Europeans didn't understand anything. They decided that they could use this ignorance to foster this fear, which they could flip into hate. Everything that they didn't understand, they were taught to hate. And since they didn't understand most of reality, they were taught to hate most of reality. That's why the birds are in danger, the fish are in danger, the air is in danger, the water's in danger, every green thing that lives on this planet is in danger, and every living creature on this planet is in danger. That's why this planet is trying to take out pink people. That's what global warming is. It's an attempt by the planet Earth, Gaia, and Akan, to rid itself of the destructive force that is destroying it. Mankind has lived on this planet for millions of years. No destruction of this planet has ever occurred until pink people took over. Okay, and they took over through the combination of ignorance leading to fear, leading to hate. And we got a song called Stop the Hate that we'd like to do for y'all right now. I'm going to try to do O.G. Shankster's part. I'm just going to lip sync it. I can't do it, but I love his part. So I'm going to sing my part and his part. I'm going to rap his part. Go ahead.
And I'm in the chorus along with our daughter.
Yes, you are. Let's play the song.
Hate is a flame that consumes my humanity, and the humanity of anyone I direct hate at. Hate is a twisted lens that warps all reality.
I will extinguish the fires of hate with the cooling, soothing waters of filial love.
Filial love is brotherly love. It is the love that exists when you realize that you're related to another through a permanent, unbreakable bond, through a stronger, larger, more important group. Family, gang, culture, race, as a sample of humanity, or as an example of life itself. We are all related.
Yeah. Humble G the Fiddler. And we gon' stop the hate. Yeah. 1, 2, look, it's time to man up, stand up, face up, hands up. Misleading all the children with your fears, we understand, bruh. Society made you this way, that's how you shift the blame, I get it, it's probably just the way that you was raised up. But this time it's different, time to give that grace up to yourself for the most high and be the one to spread love. An example for the next generation, that's what you also stop all the hate. Cause it's time for us to play our part. What part? They ask every time the Fiddler hit the stage. So you know my step, I'm always promoting that stop the hate. Stop the hate, no procrastination, no debating. That's how I'm feeling, so listen, pay attention. No, I ain't preaching. Education got me on them teachings, got me on them healing. Enabling every last one of my siblings. We all from God, it's time to build so we can beat the odds. Start the love, stop the hate so we can rise above.
It can kill your body and soul. It can turn your heart to cold. Everything you go through, yo, you must grow. So you'll be able to stop the hate and make the world a better place for all the future rays. Did you know that you can start today? Stop the hate.
Wrong with the world, mama? People living like they ain't got no mamas. Like Black Eyed Peas said, boy, I got a feeling that the world needs some lyrical spiritual healing for the people to love and not hate it or fear it. Now please bless me with the talents to reach the spirit, so I can penetrate the mind and all its egotistics. It help me listen more and I only just hear it, cause I know we all equal and we'll all inherit all the blessings of life if we only live it. Let's fill up the world with some better places. Might as well get it in for the future races. Wouldn't it feel so good being a generation to inspire peace upon the future nations? Imagine eliminating all the petty hatred and getting back to the basics, yeah, where the faith is. But first, stop the hate.
It can kill your body and soul. It can turn your heart to cold. Everything you go through, yo, you must grow. So you'll be able to stop the hate and make the world a better place for all the future rays. Did you know that you can start today?
Well, let me holler at my third eye world, close with precision, and painting perfect pictures to new dimensions in your lenses so everybody can see the vision. They close attention to verbal conversations that's getting heated all across the nation. We got the power to focus on a decision, spoken through politicians, speaking out loud throughout the competition. The world been ready for change, ain't no escape from the stain, left up the shackles and chains that they forgot to mention. We overcame every obstacle that was laid, prophesied through the graves of documentation of our Dr. King. He had a dream that we all came to the board. Up in 40 years since the start. I think it's time to let your voices ring. Pick up your voice and let freedom ring through the notes. Everybody can vote and take a stand on what we all believe. The time has come to be brave, stand by the king, it is great. Embrace the road that was paved and let your conscience breathe. Although the man gave his life just like our Lord Jesus Christ, all that we bought with a price they didn't have to pay. The crucifixion with death tied to submission, the world still wouldn't listen, and you wonder why we need to pray.
Kingdom come. Thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Stop the hate.
Stop the hate. And you stop the hate by eliminating ignorance. And you eliminate the ignorance by learning your trivalency.
Yes.
Okay.
Alrighty.
I think that's about it.
Oh, yes.
And right now, we're not gone. We're still here. We're about to close the show out.
Yes, Lord.
And that means that my wife and I,
Yes.
okay, I would like y'all to attend I.O.U.
I'd like you all to send love, light, and healing energy to my husband's uncle who's in ICU.
Okay, hold on.
Yes.
It would help if we had an image of your uncle, but we will go through your name. Tai, uncle, please. Lord, ancestors, give him light.
Yes.
Give him energy. Give him peace. Tai, your uncle's just got some peace. I don't know how, I don't know why.
Yeah.
But yeah, as I'm saying that, they told me, oh yeah, he's got that.
Okay.
Now I don't know whether that means he's went into a Y.O.U or whether his condition is squared away.
Wow.
But as I'm asking him, they're telling me he's got peace. So, my brother, Lord bless you, and the ancestors continue to protect you, and we will tell you
peace,
which stands for proper education always corrects errors.
Addresses Baba Amwa. If you would like more of your own understanding, like, share, and subscribe.
Yes.
And go to the sites that we have listed around us. The Most High is good.
And the ancestors are kind.
Thanks
for having us on your minds.
Peace.